All right, so I wanted to go over the Mrs. Basil from the mix-up files of Mrs. Basil E Frankweiler. I wanted to go over day 1 and day 2. Just a couple of questions that were frequently missed. So starting with chapter 1, the question was asking about why Claudia ran away. So if you turn to page 6, about halfway down, beginning with the paragraph that says she had enough to save for train fare and a few expenses before she could tell Jamie or make final plans. In the meantime, she almost forgot why she was running away. So here I'm getting ready to go into exactly why she was running away. It says she almost forgot, but she didn't. But not entirely. Claudia knew it had to do with the injustice. She was the oldest child and the only girl and was subject to a lot of injustice. Perhaps it was because she had to both empty the dishwasher and set the table on the same night while her brothers got out of everything. And perhaps there was another reason more clear to me than to Claudia, a reason to do with the sameness of each and every week. She was bored. It was simply being straight A Claudia Kincaid. She was tired of arguing about whose turn it was to choose Sunday night 7:30 television show, of injustice and of the monotony of everything. So here, Claudia has a routine that happens the same over and over again. She knows, because she's the girl, that she's going to have more chores to do. She knows that she has a routine that never changes. So she wants to run away because she wants to change everything. She wants to have something new and different. She doesn't want to have the injustice of having to do all the chores while her brothers sit at home and don't really have to do much of anything. The next question was why she was running away to the city. About halfway down on page 5, which is already a half page, it says, therefore, she decided that leaving home would not just be running away from somewhere, but running to somewhere, to a large place, a comfortable place, an indoor place, and preferably a beautiful place. And that's why she decided upon the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. That Museum of Art had all of the qualities that Claudia was looking for. It was a large place. It was a comfortable place. It was an indoor place. It's a museum that she's going to. The city is New York, but it's ultimately a museum. It's a beautiful place. So she made a choice, a clear choice about the type of place that she was wanting to run away to. On day 2, there was about 3 questions that we missed, and starting with number 1, what word describes Claudia? So we're going into page 2, and let's see, starting around on page 13. So as we're thinking about Claudia, we're thinking about her as a whole. So we're trying to figure out, well, what's happening with Claudia on these particular pages, because then based off of what's happening to her and how she's responding, that's how I can figure out how she feels. So I'm on page 13, about halfway through. It says, Claudia looked out the window. Claudia looked out the window and didn't answer. Jamie said, as long as you've got me here, tell me. Claudia still said nothing and still looked out of the window. Jamie became impatient. I said that as long as you've got me here, why, you may as well tell me. Claudia remained silent. Jamie erupted. So here, where some of you were saying that Claudia was being mad, she's not quite mad. It is Jamie who is. What's the matter with you, Claude? First, you bust up my card game. Then you won't tell me. It's undecent. Break up, not bust up. Indecent, not undecent, Claudia corrected. Oh, baloney. You know what I mean. Now, tell me, he demanded. I've picked you to accompany me to the greatest adventure of our lives, Claudia repeated. You said that. He clenched his teeth. Now tell me. I decided to run away from home, and I've chosen you to accompany me. Claudia sighed. I don't want, excuse me, let me back that up. You to accompany me. Why'd you pick me? Why not pick Stevie? Or he asked. Claudia sighed. I don't want Stevie. He is one of the things in my life that I'm running away from. Remember she said that she had these injustices, and so Stevie is a part of that. So he's one of the things that she is running away from. I want you. Despite himself, Jamie felt flattery. Flattery is as important as a machine as the lever, isn't it, Saxonberg? Give it a proper place to rest, and it will move the world. It moved Jamie. He stopped thinking, why pick me, and started thinking, I am chosen. He sat up in the seat, unzipped his jacket, put one foot on the seat, placed his hands over his knee and out the corner of his mouth. Okay, Claude, when do we bust out of here, and how? Claudia stifled the urge to correct his grammar. So she was before correcting his grammar when he was saying things wrong. And so now she held back the need and the desire to do that again. And she starts to explain. She's getting a little bit frustrated with him because he's not speaking properly, and he doesn't really seem all that grateful to be the one that is chosen to go on this adventure. Number 5, it says, what clue was given to Kevin? So I'm looking on page 18 in order to find that answer. So page 18 is pretty short, so I'll just go ahead and read it all. Claudia, who had been walking up ahead with Jamie, stopped short, ran back, grabbed Kevin's hand, and started retracing her steps, pulling him along the side and slightly behind. I want to walk with Stevie, Kevin cried. Now, mind you, Kevin is a younger brother, so he has to walk and hold their hands. And Claudia, treating him the way that she was, grabbing his hand, pulling him along. Kevin says, I don't really want to walk with you, Claudia. I'd rather walk with Stevie. That would be just fine with me, Kevin, brat, Claudia answered. But today, you happen to be my responsibility. So remember, she talked about those injustices in the beginning. So here is another injustice that she has. She has a day where she has the responsibility of caring for her brother and walking to and from school. Whose responsibility am I next? He asked. Wednesday starts Steve's turn, Claudia answered. I wish it could be Steve's turn every week, Kevin whined. You may just get your wish. Kevin never realized then or ever that he had been given a clue, and he pouted all the way home. Well, the clue was that you may just get your wish. He wanted it to be his brother Stephen's turn all the time. Remember, Claudia's not trying to take Stephen. Claudia is trying to take Jamie with her. So here she gave him a clue that you might not have to worry about me being the one holding your hand anymore, because I'm getting ready to run away. And then it'll be Steve's turn all the time and not mine. So then number 7, it talks about Claudia and how she treats Kevin. And on that same page of 18, Claudia grabs his hand. She pulls him along. She's not being very kind to him at all. So she's treating him with some disdain. Last but not least, talking about character traits. Character traits describe a person based off of their actions and the words that they say. So when we're looking at Jamie, we want to figure out, well, what are his character traits? What are some things that he says? What's some things that he does? I know that he plays cards with his friend Bruce on the bus. He does that so he can get money. And not only does he get money, but he holds on to that money. He doesn't waste that money and just squander it away. He keeps that money. So then I'm trying to think, well, what word could I use to describe someone who is able to get money from a friend and keep it? So some of you chose that he was clever, and that could be a pretty good word to use for him, because it was very smart of him to trick Bruce out of all that money and to keep it. You could also call him cautious because he does not spend his money away. He could be conservative, responsible. Frugal is a word that adults use a lot of times, where someone who has money and doesn't really want to spend it and give it up. He could be called stingy. He could be called cheap. Those are all good words that could describe someone who gets money, keeps it, and doesn't spend it. All right. Talk to y'all next time.